Hi everyone, it's Miss here with a quick, very speeded up video on spotlight stamping, which is a card that I put on my blog the other day and somebody asked me to do a video, and I can't tell you the problem that I've had making this because the phone kept going, the light kept going, everything kept going. Basically I've cut a circle with a nestability and I've put some repositionable glue onto the circle, and I've got an identical square of white cardstock, and I'm going to be stamping on both of these. You can see that my magnet has arrived, so that's helping very much to keep everything in place. I decided that I wanted that flower to be hanging off the edge of the card, so I've scooted the card along by 1/2 inch, and I need some scratch paper behind it. The bottom of the MISTI is magnetized, so the magnet holds it really strongly. I'm using Simon Says Stamp dye inks. This is sea glass, I think it's called. And now I'm putting the paper with the cardstock with the circle temporarily adhered to it in exactly the same place and stamping the same stamp. It's a 2-step stamp, so I'm just popping the overlay stamp onto the lid, and I'm using Audrey Blue to stamp over it. And I'll do exactly the same with the cardstock. And there was nearly a disaster here because what was I thinking? Put it in entirely the wrong place. This was very much a stop and start because, as I say, the phone kept going, and then the doorbell went and I had to go and let the guy in to read the electricity meter. So you'll see me coming back and finishing this video with my jacket on and practically in the dark. So I'm just carrying on in exactly the same way, first doing one and then reproducing it exactly on the second piece of cardstock. And I just stamped some very simple flowers really. I would probably put more sprays and so on, but you can see how easy it is to stamp very accurately when you're using this little tool. I already cut some masks out of scratch paper and put some zig glue behind them to make them repositionable. The stamps are by Clearly Besotted. I think it's called, the set's called Simply Fabulous. And that's when I came back from the electricity guy, so sorry about the light, it was really going, but I'd gone so far into the video I couldn't bear to stop, so I didn't even take my jacket off. I've still got my jacket on. In a minute you'll probably see me in my pyjamas. So I'm reproducing the whole thing. If I thought it through, which I didn't, I must admit, I should have cut more masks out because for the purposes of the video I keep having to peel the masks off and reposition them again. As far as the little green leaves are concerned, I used 2 shades of green, green apple and beanstalk green, and I'm just wiping a little bit of the lighter green off and stamping it again with the darker one so that you do get a sort of a two-tone look. But the whole idea of the video was just to show you how easy it is to exactly reproduce a card with very little effort. I can imagine this done with a scrolly sort of stamp, you know, swirls maybe going across the card and then continuing on with the circle. You'll see what I'm talking about maybe when I put the card together at the end. So now I'm left with just a very simple little spray of flowers. And this is where I went wrong again. See me closing the lid on the MISTI? Did you see what was still inside it? So this is where I'm frantically looking for the circle, which I'd shut inside the the MISTI. So I found it, and now I'm lining that up with the bottom layer and popping the circle on with some foam pads. I've already stamped a clearly besotted sentiment. And I'm just going to dot a few gems around to make it look a little bit pretty. And really, I feel quite exhausted after all this. But I hope it's given you a couple of ideas and that you've stayed watching. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.